Well, it looks like they've already started to reduce the expectations for what the break even point is for this film. I think that's a bad sign because when you reduce the expectations of the break even point, what you're really saying is you're unsure that this film is going to make a lot of money. And I think the reason you'd be unsure is because the film's test screenings, which have been leaking out, aren't going that well. They just recently cut about 20% of the film out, going from 2.5 hours to 2 hours, taking out a bunch of jokes. But in my mind, if you have 20% of the film that can be legitimately cut as just fat, that tells me that you had a pretty bad film to begin with. And cutting out a lot of jokes makes me think a lot of them maybe weren't hitting right. James Gunn can certainly do comedy and he can do it well, but turning Superman into Guardians wouldn't be a good look in my mind. I think Superman needs to be more earnest, more serious. I think the DC universe is more serious. I liked Man of Steel. I think that was one of the best iterations of Superman. I liked Henry Cavill. I think he did a great job. I don't like the new suit that you can see on this guy. I think this suit looks pretty cheap and not good. I don't know why they decided to switch it up and go with this kind of suit. It may work, it may not, but to me, it doesn't look anywhere as good as the Snyder version did. I would also say the new actor may be good, but I will miss Cavill. I think it's going to be hard to adjust since we just saw him so recently. And by adjusting the break even point to about, here we see it's about 500 million. That's all they need to make before they start to go into profits. They need 700 million to be considered a success. I think that's very interesting that you see them framing 700 million as a success, given that Man of Steel in 2013, I believe, had a budget of about 200 million and made about 700 million. So that basically, and that's not adjusted for inflation. Really, it would need to be making about $1 billion adjusted for inflation, and yet they're not doing that here, which tells me they do not really believe that this film is going to generate a lot of support. And even if this film turns out to be great, I think it's going to be tough to make it to $1 billion. I mean, after turning out garbage like Joker 2 and some, I mean, the DC universe has been very inconsistent. Wonder Woman 1 versus Wonder Woman 2, very different qualities of movies. Because of this very hit or miss nature of DC, I think it's very hard for them to get these high box office returns. You've even seen recently with Marvel, where due to all the race swapping, the gender politics they're forcing into Fantastic Four, and they did with Captain Marvel, and a lot of the more woke changes, they've been having some significant misses. Brave New World, Captain America lost money. I think it would have been smarter to go with Bucky as Cap instead of, uh, you know, making effectively, switching it to a different race, which is you could do. It's obviously supposed to be a different person, but I think they went with Sam Wilson over Bucky because they were trying to get a black Captain America, and I don't think it worked well. I think if you look at a lot of their, other recent films like Thunderbolts, if you look at what's going to be out soon, Fantastic Four, these films, Thunderbolts underperformed as well, and Fantastic Four is, by pretty much all metrics, on track to underperform. Now, Fantastic Four has had a lot of issues with its adaptations in the film, but putting it more in a feminist narrative, making Sue more of a lead character instead of more of a support character for Johnny, I think they've made a lot of mistakes. And these mistakes, these misses, are remembered by the audiences. It used to be you put out a Marvel film, it could go close to $1 billion pretty easily, or at least make its money back, no problem. Now that's not the case. And Marvel's failures are also affecting DC. Because what people think of is the last time I went to see a superhero movie, was it good or not? And the more misses, the less enthusiasm there is for the next one, even if it turns out to be a hit. And this one has a lot of potential issues. I already talked about the suit and Cavill, but I'll go into I did not love the trailer. I thought it was a little too unserious. The dog may be beloved by some. I thought the scene with the dog and dragging him was not the funniest to me, not the best. Some of even the CGI looked off in that trailer. I'm not too excited for what's coming. And the fact that they are saying that we just need to make $500 million to break even and $700 million is a success for Superman, a major tentpole film. To me, it tells me they know something's wrong with this film. They don't have confidence in it. And I think this is probably going to be another miss. I could be wrong, but let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Are you excited for this film? Do you think it's going to be a big hit and will help reinvigorate Superman? Or do you think it's going to be another miss and perhaps we'll do even another Superman reboot? If this doesn't clear at least 400 million, I think that's going to really kill a lot of what they have planned for Superman in the future. And they may even do another reboot of Superman, which is crazy so soon, but it may be necessary because they can't keep losing money like this.